What's up, y'all? You are now tapped in with the Stamper Podcast. We have a very special guest in the building. Before I move on, before I introduce her, I just wanted to let you guys know that, we got connected. I want to say probably I want to say last month, even though I've been following her for a while now. As you know, in the notary business, there's so many niches, so many non-notary services that you can offer within the industry. And it's always important for me to try to inform you all of, the services that you can offer, whether it's weddings, apostilles, whether it's inspection services. But this is going to be a very special episode because this will be the first time that we've talked about fingerprinting. And we have none other than Shonica. Fingerprinters are us?
Fingerprinters are us.
Fingerprinters are us.
Shonica the notary here.
Go, Shonica the notary. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. I can't complain.
Excellent. I sure do appreciate you stopping by, blessing us with your presence today on the Stamper Podcast. I'm pretty sure folks got a whole lot of questions about fingerprinting. Hopefully we can, break any misconceptions, any myths about the business. And also towards the end, we can also share with them some opportunities of how they can get into the fingerprinting business as well.
Sure.
So just starting out, how I always like to start off is, just tell people, who you are and pretty much how'd you get into how'd you become a notary first, or if you did fingerprinting first before coming into becoming a notary. Like, just give us a brief synopsis of who you are, how'd you got to this point.
Okay, so my story is I'm one of those people. I'm either gonna give you too much or not enough, and majority of the time I'm giving you a lot. I'm doing it. If I'm doing something, I'm doing it 100%. So I come from a background of healthcare. I worked in healthcare for 21 years, and I worked in the billing and coding side. I got a little drained. I knew she was coming. I got a little drained with the with healthcare, and I just wanted something new. I wanted something fresh. I was just overwhelmed. And my mom she worked in a lottery, and she kept asking me to become a notary. And I'm like, why does lady always, every time I turn around, she wants me to become a notary? And I'm like, I don't want to be a notary. They don't make no money. And she was like, nah, just become a notary for this the election. She was on the election board, and she was always doing something since I was a little kid with that. And then she worked for the IRS as well. So she was pretty much asking me all the time just to become a notary. And I ended up breaking my leg. I was at home from during COVID, when COVID had just hit, and I broke my leg. And she was fussing at me about still becoming a notary. We were on the phone one day, and she was like, you need to just become a notary. And I was just like, I'm tired of this lady just constantly telling me. I hung up the phone with her, and I just started filling out my paperwork. I filled out for Ron in Missouri and the notary. And I went in to the appointment, did my oath, got my commission probably about 2 weeks later. And that's how it started. I started looking up all of these videos on loan signing agents. It was the guy that he was like, what can you do with your stamp, your notary stamp? And he has this blue stamp up with the glasses. So
oh, yeah, I know you're talking about. Always in the YouTube ads. Yeah, his marketing is on point.
I kept seeing him, and I'm like, well, what can I do? What can I do as a notary? What is it that I'm sorry, what can I do? Here, get us the tea. Okay, so I would see this guy all the time, and I was just like, let me just see what's going on with this. And then I started looking at all of the videos that they had out here about becoming a notary, and then I started seeing how much they were making, and I'm like, wait a minute, they saying that you can make this amount of money. This amount is a little bit more than what I actually made, on my 9 to 5. So I'm like, I'm trying to get out of my 9 to 5. I was praying every day for something. I used to be in my cubicle like this every day, and it was just like, I was praying for a way out, and I took her advice and finally, just did it. I started seeing all of these other things. I'm like, who could be a loan signing agent? I don't have to just be a notary. They make a little more. So then I started seeing Vanessa Terry. I started seeing her videos, and I started seeing a couple of other young ladies. But I was like, I'm not gonna just go. I have to go with somebody that resonates with me. So Vanessa Terry stood out to me. So I am a notary to notary. What do you call it? Alumni.
Yep.
So I learned everything from e-notary to Ron and loan signing from Vanessa. That was my mentor. And as I got started and filling out, for the signing services and things like that, I was like, this is taking a long time. Like I'm not getting no calls. And in between that, I was like, well, what else can I do while I'm waiting on signing services, to start calling? And I ended up seeing Andre Hatchett. He had the Fingerprint Academy, but I had just spent all this money on becoming a loan signing agent. And I was like, I can't afford $2,400 to go to this school. And I was like, let me just do a little bit more research. What do I need to do? And I just went down this rabbit hole, and I found out so much information. And I'm one of those type of people, as I find out information, I want to teach other people, because I learned that when I teach what I learned, I retain it better.
Yeah.
So I started posting certain things within some of these groups that I was in on Facebook, the notary groups, and people started asking questions. They was like, wait a minute, hold on. So I made one statement one particular time, and it must have went viral.
Yeah.
My inbox was flooded, and I was like, I cannot answer all of these people. They all have a lot of the same questions. So let me just start a group. That is the beginning in how my Notary Fingerprinters R Us group came about. I was giving out free information. I was going on YouTube, posting information. Some of my biggest view videos are on YouTube. I'm at like 17K or something like that. But it was just information that I would just learn and just go on and provide to everybody. So I just wanted to teach. I just wanted one person to get it, just like I got it. I didn't care about nobody else, but it seemed like it clicked and caught on. And then I started looking into the cost. I started buying equipment, the manual board, and looking into the state rules that I could provide fingerprinting in where I was in Missouri. I started adding that to my Google business, and I started getting calls. My first fingerprint call was during a blizzard, when it was still during the pandemic, because everything was still shut down. Yeah. These people came from Colorado to Missouri to get fingerprints. And they were coming for me because nobody else was open. Yeah. So my first two clients, I did them in one day, and I made $65 from each one. And I was just like, oh, I like this.
That part.
65, and I got paid the same day. I didn't have to wait. I like this. And they had to get fingerprinted for the USDA and things like that. So I was just like, I want more. Yeah. I started getting more clients. I started realizing that who I can do this for. I started targeting real estate. I started getting calls for real estate agents. I started getting calls from people that were getting insurance license and things like that. And I was going to them. So they were like, oh, you come to me? Yeah, I'm coming to you. I'm going to provide. I would meet them at Panera Bread. I would meet them at like if they had like these little luxury apartments. If I wasn't doing it from home, I would also, I had an immigration attorney reach out to me. They needed me to provide fingerprints. I started getting people coming from out of town just to get my service in the area that I was in. I had someone coming from, I want to say Colorado, and he had to do some stuff in Texas. It was for Texas, but he ended up meeting me there, and he was so nervous. He was like, I'm just so happy that I ain't got to go to no police station. And he was still nervous. I was like, you still nervous? I can't lock you up, So, it's real funny that that's how I got started. It was just like, I guess it was just meant for me to do it. And I just continued studying. And somebody was like, why don't you just start training? You got the group. Just start training. And I was like, oh no, I'm just nervous about,
Yeah.
am I good enough to train? And she was like, you know how to roll, you know how to do this stuff that we don't know how to do. You know a lot of information that we don't know. Yeah, you need to train. I'm actually gonna come to you. And it was Letitia.
Yeah.
I call her Tori. Letitia, she came out to me from Virginia. So she was
Wow.
my first one-on-one trainee. She flew out to Atlanta and I trained her. And after that, I started doing free rolling classes. And I had people that were coming from all over, coming from Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina. My first class was about 12 people in person. So it was just like, it was weird how everything just played out.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it ever since. And it's almost 2 years now.
That's, man, it's so much to unpack there. I mean, first off, you know, shout out to Notary to Notary, Black business owner, by the way. Shout out to them. There's a lot to unpack there. So one, you got educated, you started off, you just want to, like say, get into notary business, learn about loan closings, e-notary, everything that encapsulates within a notary business. Now, once you finished, you know, you was ready to get things running. But like I said, you know, sometimes it takes a while for things to get kicking, especially, you know, as notaries, we got competition in our areas. It seems like it's a notary everywhere, right? So things were moving a little bit slow, but instead of you saying, all right, well, I'm gonna just wait for time to catch up, maybe it's only a matter of time, you said, no, what can I do to collapse time right now? It has to be other services that I can offer within this notary business, other complementary services that I can provide. And so you end up finding, shout out to Dre, shout out to Andre Hadgett, my mentor, my guy, man. Learned a lot from,
And
learned a
it's
lot.
no shade to Andre, because if it wasn't for his training being so expensive, I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
Yeah, shout out to Dre. Shout out to Dre, man.
I just couldn't afford it, Andre. That's all. I couldn't afford it.
You know it's all love. He knows all love.
I was a single mom. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I had to make it. I'm from Chicago originally. I had to make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? We natural born hustlers. We gonna find a way. Yeah. So that was just me finding my way.
Absolutely. But like I said, that goes back to your character, to the type of person you are. It's like, you're not gonna sit around and wait. Well, most folks will wait and be complaining, trying to say, well, I guess at some point it worked out. I was like, no, he said, no, I don't got time to be waiting. I got family, I got things to take care of. And then just by you being so proactive, you know, and just taking action, you end up learning the skill. And then from there, you said by the time when you learn the skill, you end up getting your first 2 clients like immediately. And it's something, I don't know what it is, but something happens to you mentally once you learn a new skill, and then you get proof of concept that this actually does work. Yeah. You know, it's just something that it just confirms everything that you knew was right. And so once you did get those first 2 clients, it's like, oh, it's on and popping from here. And then also, you know, with you being with you learning this skill in the pandemic, where it seemed like everything was shut down. You couldn't go to, it seemed like nobody was answering their phone. You couldn't go to a store. Everything was on lockdown. And so while everybody was, you know, contracting, you know, you was expanding. You said, no, this is my opportunity to tell you, this is my opportunity. Hey, I'm gonna answer these phones and I'm gonna make it happen. And so by you, like I said, being proactive, taking advantage of your opportunity, that led from you being able to take to service these many clients. And now you got other notaries, notaries noticing that, you know, while everybody else is shut down, you are offering a complimentary service where it makes sense that other notaries want to learn this skill set. And you got folks that's coming from Tennessee and coming from West Virginia to learn from you.
Yeah,
that says a lot.
It's still like, it's still a dream. I still can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, fingerprinting is, I'm a notary, I'm a loan signing agent, but fingerprinting is always going to be, it's going to, you know, hold a soft spot in my heart, because it's like, I learned so much, and I'm still learning. You know, I made so many connections the business partners that I have. You see that I'm connected with a biometric company.
Mhm.
My other business partner that I work with, Anthony, he's the of the fingerprint consultant. He helps me on the back end. We have also now the support services where we offer support for people who order our fingerprint, because now I'm a live scan. I went from being manual to now I sell the live scan equipment. I'm a vendor.
Yes.
So now you can also purchase my equipment on my website. You can go to my website. You can purchase the I'm sorry, you could purchase the support service, you could purchase the equipment, you could purchase, if you just say, hey, I just want the scanner, you can get that, you can get the modules. I have payment plans, financing, Sezzle. So now it's no reason for you not to come either be trained by me or shop with me,
Yes.
so regardless to what state you're in,
Mhm.
Majority of the states are print to card states. There's a few electronic submission states, California being that you all are I call you all the weird state. The weird state, because you got to get so many licenses and things like that. But
Annoying. It's
I
so
still can sell
annoying.
y'all equipment out there. So I ain't really worried about that. Even if I'm not able to train you, I can still provide the equipment sales out there for you guys. So, and it's a lot of live scan vendors in California,
Yes,
because that's where
California.
you are majority of electronic submission state.
Yeah, we're like one of those states where we got to get certifications, licenses for damn near everything. Because when I don't know who I was listening to, because I'm thinking when I first got into notary business, we got to go through the 6-hour training and everything else. I'm thinking it's like that for the other state. It's some. I think one of them states, I think it was Illinois, where you only got to do is fill out an application.
Okay.
We had to pause real quick, y'all, because my damn dog. If y'all for y'all on YouTube, here she is. Here she is, y'all on YouTube. But yeah, all these other states, it seemed like the only thing you need to do is just submit an application, do it, and then boom, you're a notary. It's like, what? That's
Pretty
all you gotta
much.
do? That's all it takes. And so it's pretty cool where, like I said, other states, it's not that the process is not much, it's not that stringent, to get your certification, or if you need a certification, you need to get started. So yeah, I think that your story is so dope, like I said, because it's not too many, like you hear all the time about, when folks get into the notary business, it's, oh, I want to become a loan signing agent. Oh, I want to do general notary work. But the most popular thing is loan closes, right? But once you actually get around people, that do more than loan closings, like I said, you come across people like yourself that's doing fingerprinting. You come across individuals that do apostilles only. You got another professional who does weddings only, and they're making a great living from doing that. And they don't got the pressure of feeling like, oh man, when's my next signing gonna come in? When is the certain signing service gonna come in? It's like, no, because I have these additional complementary skills that I can offer. I'm not lacking for business. I know how to get my own direct clients, whether like if it's an immigration attorney, whether it's a person that's about to start a liquor store and they need to get fingerprinted, right? And the best of all, you're paid right there on the spot as well. So transitioning on, we found out, now you offering fingerprinting services, and then transitioning to training, talk about that, the educational part of the business. What has that been like? What's the kind of what kind of feedback have you gotten in regards to fingerprinters or us, and just helping people getting started in this line of work?
Well, it's almost like, okay, so you have the training. You're always going to have people that you train, and some that are going to take advantage of your training. You're going to have a lot of people that just take the training class and never put forth any effort. But I mean, I do have those that I train and they reach out to me and they're doing a good job. Like I said, my first person that came out to me that I actually trained, she has like 2 locations now. She's actually doing she does live scan. I have a lot of people that I've trained in Florida. I have a lot of students in Florida. I did a training live in person in Jacksonville probably about 8 months ago, and a lot of those people are still moving and shaking and doing fingerprinting. So it's actually just up to the person, when they take the training, applying the the fundamentals, applying the skills, just applying the concept, you know, and moving forward. I'm always available. I walk them through. Like I said, you said, hey, do you got somebody in Tampa? I sure do. I trained this person, and I love people that are like me. They get trained and they hit the ground running. Yeah. I trained Tamika Emmanuel within 30 days. She was she was able to provide live scan services after my training, and she's in Florida. So I've trained quite almost like hundreds of people now, you know, so it's all, I don't know what a lot of them, the ones that are actually doing the fingerprinting, they'll reach out to me and ask questions. Hey, I got my first fingerprint job. What do I need to do? I'm a little nervous. How do I market? And I, you know, get right in there and I tell them, you know, a lot of the times I have my first appointment, what I need to do. Okay, this is what you do. You know, I walk them through that. I hold their hand literally on down to that first fingerprint, even afterwards, you know, they need to reach out and say, okay, is it another way that I can market this? Yeah, pop-up shops. You know, I always tell people, or either you can niche base the fingerprinting. It's up to you how you want to do it.
And I want to give a salute to the students that actually take the information and run with it. They're not sitting on it. There's a lot of y'all out there that buy courses, y'all buy these trainings, y'all go through the process and don't even attempt to market yourself. You don't even tell your mom that you offer fingerprinting services. So yeah, that part I don't understand. But for you all out there that's taking action, I salute you, because like I said, it's you know, you are willing to not only, you know, invest in yourself, but you're willing to put yourself out there, embrace the criticism, you know, be willing to be scared and do it, you know, feeling the fear, you know, just doing it anyway. So I appreciate y'all. Gotta let it be known, because there's too many people that do that. Like I'll have people where like they'll enroll into my program, and they want, and you know, they asking me questions that's inside the actual program. I'm like, did you watch any of the videos? And they be like, no, I haven't watched it yet. It's like, what you spend the money for? It's like, yeah, I mean, I appreciate you spending money with me, but at the end of the day, I need you to be out here. You bought it for a reason. Like that same enthusiasm that you had when you purchased the program, you need to have that same enthusiasm about yourself and actually implementing this as well. You know, because at the end of the day, you either benefiting or you hurting yourself from not taking action. You know, so yeah, I appreciate you for sharing that. So what were some of your earliest challenges, you know, in your fingerprinting business? Like what were some of those things that you learned early on?
Because I started off manual, I didn't have many challenges, because with manual it's totally different from live scan. I have more challenges a little bit with the live scan, being that I am not connected or contracted with like Identigo or Gemalto or something like that per se. So when you're not connected or contracted with them, being that I'm a private owner, I have to turn down money, because when that particular client calls me or reaches out to me and they're wanting to come, I have people wanting to come to me literally, but I can't provide the service for them because I don't have a contract. And I'll tell them, I always had to probe them, because they'll see me and they'll be like, finally, I don't know if they are not able to get scheduled or what's going on. But when they do reach me, they're like, you provide fingerprinting? And I'm like, yeah. They like, I'm on my way. And I'm like, hold on. First of all, are you registered? Did your employee register you? If they say yeah, then I can't provide the service for you, because I'm not contracted with GAPS. And because I'm not contracted with GAPS have their own location sites that you have to go to. I said, so go back and look at the email that you were sent or that your human resources department submitted to you, and it should give you a list of what places that you can go. And they were like, no, you were just closer. You were more convenient. I wanted to come to you. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. You know, and it hurts me that I got to turn down money, because I'm like, hey, you know, but, you know, as long as they don't have any type of registration, they're just coming to get a real estate license, daycare, you know, any type of licensing. As long as they're not registered with the state, I can provide services to them. But that's my only challenge that I have. That's it. That's all. And with any business, you're not going to be busy every day. You're going to have your slow periods. Right now, I only had one client within the since I want to say Friday. It's Wednesday, so I haven't had any clients yet. So probably won't get any more clients towards the end of the week. And while I'm waiting on clients, I'm doing other things. I'm preparing and updating my training, or like I said, I have a new training course that I'm coming up with, which is through One Dynasty, Free at Last, where I'm going to be showing others how to live free. And when I say live free, that means tapping into like their trust and things like that, understanding the UCC codes and things like that, showing them how to basically free themselves. So I'm doing that course. So that's my new next course. I'm trying to go outside of the box from everybody in the notary world, and do something different and help my people at the same time.
Got it. Okay. You said something that was interesting. You said you tend not to have difficulties doing the manual live scan, but I mean, not the manual cards, but the live scan tends to give you an issue. I would have thought it would have been the other way around, because I've heard of stories where even fingerprinted techs I've worked with before where they may have had prints rejected, on the manual side, but on the live scan, it's more advantageous to use that because due to the less errors that'll be made on live scan as opposed to manually.
Well, the thing with live scan, with that, I don't have any issues with live scan as far as when I'm providing a service. It's just that when the clients are calling to schedule, that's my challenge. Now, as far I don't want to jinx myself, but I have not had, you know what I'm saying? I'm knock on my board, actually. I haven't had rejections. So I can't speak on that.
Yeah.
I know how to roll. I try I do my best. I'm not gonna say I try. I do my best. I have these lovely retabs. I utilize them. So with manual, if you don't have I use my ridge builder. I use my retabs. I know how to analyze prints. I've been doing it for so long. I know how to look at these prints. I'm sorry. I know how to look at these prints and I can analyze it, and I can say, okay, I know they're not going to be rejected because I can see the literal ridge patterns in it. I'm getting real, what is it, nerdy right now, because this is my passion. So I know that this is not going to be a rejection because in the minutia right here, I can see the lines and everything. So I'm not worried about no rejections, and I look at and I identify my manual cards the same way. So that's another part of when I train, I teach how to analyze your prints. So if you really take my training course, you're going to learn the fundamentals. It's not about just rolling. It's way more to it than just rolling. You need to know the fundamentals of why you're fingerprinting. People don't even know that what this part is. This is the minutia. So this is what needs to be fully inked, for them to get a good, reading on the, fingerprint card. So it's just a lot more to it. They need to know the different ridge patterns. People probably don't even know what type of ridge pattern they have. If you know your ridge pattern and a crime is committed and someone claims that you were there at the scene, if you know your ridge pattern, or if you know that this person who committed this crime has arches and you got loops, you know how to save yourself, because it's like, no, take my fingerprints. I got loops. I don't have arches. So those aren't my fingerprints. Right. You are able to even get yourself out of trouble. If you really know anything about, like fingerprints and the criminal history records and things like that, and I teach that. I'm not, one of the guys said, he was like, the way you teach and how you know about fingerprinting is like they could pull you on a stand one day. And I was like, he was like, but you know a lot. You're very knowledgeable and you know how to analyze this. So if they were to ever have to pull anybody up, they can utilize you for this. And I was just like, oh, okay. But
But that
yeah,
says a lot. But that says a lot about your ability to articulate how to not only teach the skill, but like you said, like you just say, you just nerd out on it. Like the intricate details of providing the service, how to actually roll the fingerprints, how to make sure you get as much what's it called? Try to get as much
ink on the minutia.
yeah, get much ink on the minutia as possible, right? So I mean, so that speaks volumes about you, right? Now, for those people who say, all right, yeah, I can do fingerprinting, but I know there's a sheriff's office or the sheriff's department could offer fingerprinting. I would assume, right? Do they? I don't know if they do that for free. Now, why would someone choose to go with either a mobile fingerprinting tech or go to a mom and pop place like a postal annex or whatever? What would be the difference between them coming to you as opposed to them just saying, you know what, I'm gonna just go to the sheriff's department and get my fingerprints?
A lot of people don't want to go to the police department, but not only that, if you go to the police department and your address does not match what's on your ID card, the police station is not going to fingerprint you. I don't think people knew that as well.
So
they're going to turn you away.
That's
Go try it.
That's a gem. That sort of falls in the same line of why would I go with a mobile notary when I can go to the bank? Well, it's like, yeah, sort of, like it's not, the bank, yeah, they will notarize some documents, but like I said, if it's like a power of attorney or
anything dealing with
yeah,
mortgage, they can't do that.
any asset related documents, then they're not going to touch it. So the same thing with the bank. I mean, not the same thing, bank, with the same with the sheriff's department. Like I said, their address don't match, they're not going to touch it. It's like, no, you need to get this updated first before you roll your prints.
I notarize and fingerprint them too.
Really?
Yeah, I just had a police officer the other day.
Okay.
And he was doing something, he was applying for another job somewhere, and it was just like, and notarizing some documents and stuff for him.
So that's a perfect segue into our next segment. So now we got people that's they listen to us, they're like, yo, this is something that I want to do. I want to start offering fingerprinting services. Who would fall under the line of a client who actually needs these services? Like, we know folks who's getting started within real estate, like you said, a police officer or someone, a potential or applicant that's looking to get into the law enforcement that needs to get fingerprints. But who are some other professionals in that space who needs fingerprints?
You have daycare workers, you have nurses, traveling nurses, teachers who are teaching abroad. You have anybody that's needing any type of license, anyone that has to work, that happens to work with children, anyone that works in healthcare or the government, they are going to need fingerprinting. Sometimes they will have contracts with the states, but majority of the time, if the trucking industry, logistics, truck drivers, they're getting their hazmat, different endorsements, they have to get fingerprinted each time. So you have your truckers. That's why I say you can niche base this. You can really niche base it. You have immigration, funeral homes. We got live scan boxes for the day. Yeah, you can. If you work for a funeral home, you can do it for like different keepsakes and things like that. Not necessarily just like for the toe tags and stuff, but for keepsakes. A lot of the times they can get the fingerprint of their loved one, and turn it into like a keychain or something like that. It's some type of keepsake for it. So it's a lot of different things that you can provide fingerprinting for. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's interesting. I say it's surprising the things that you learned. That I did not know that. Wow, that's interesting. So
because you ain't took my class.
Yeah, you gonna say I need to tap in there because I did not know that. Like you said, I mean, as far as like saying knowing for a person that's getting to the real estate, trucking, daycare services, nurses, like I figured those people need fingerprints, but for funeral home, that's interesting. I didn't even think of that. I wouldn't even think they would need fingerprints in order that type of service.
But they fingerprint people. How they gonna identify the body?
That's a fact. See, that's why you're the professional and I'm not. That's why you're the professional, I'm not, right? All right. So let's say all right, we got people that's listening to this. They're like, all right, they're motivated. They're like, okay, now I know now I know who needs this service. Like, what can I do to get started? Like, obviously every state, if you're in California, hey,
You got to get certified.
you got to get certified. It is what it is. I got my certificate, but I just don't have my private service provider yet. But like in other states that you know
I
what,
can be your service provider. As far as I'm a vendor. You can provide. You're talking about purchasing your equipment, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
So
can get you registered with what is it, Cal Department of Justice, CALDOJ.
yeah, the DOJ.
Yeah.
Say y'all, hey y'all, be on the lookout. Y'all might
When
get
you
that
ready.
phone. Y'all might get that phone call from me. We got a fingerprint assignment for you from Stamper Signing. Be on the lookout.
When you get ready.
Yeah, you know I'm ready. You know I'm always ready for new opportunities. But I mean, enough about me, right? So but for the other folks that's outside of California, you know, for the states that you know, what are some things that what is that process like for some people? What they need to do in order to get started in this business?
Okay, so pretty much they just really want you to have some form of training.
Okay.
They don't want you out here just hopping out with just, oh, I'm a notary, and you don't have no type of training. Like each one of my trainings, whether I'm providing fingerprint training or apostille training, you get a certificate of completion where they will know that you actually had some training. So they just want you to have training. Sometimes when you're registered with the states will actually send you through a training like GAPS. They will send me through a training, and then they will have me provide services on their machines, but they will also pay me less. So I actually like working as it's just like when you are in a rap game, you know, in the industry.
Yeah.
Being independent, you're gonna make more money.
Yeah.
You know, you have less people that you got to pay out of that, out of your net, your gross
budget.
income. Yeah. So it's like I feel like I'm an independent, you know, person. So I don't really want to work for anybody. You know, I'm fine with I could get my own contracts. Trust me, I'm actually in the process of getting them. And with the support services and stuff that we provide, we are actually seeking and getting contracts for our clients. So that's not going to be an issue with that's not going to be an issue with anyone as far as once they sign up with us with the support service. Our actual support service is making it to where it's like fingerprinting on autopilot. So all you got to do is just show up and do the fingerprinting. You don't have to answer any calls. You don't have to schedule anything. Only thing that we just want you to do is just give us 5 people every week of the different type of industries that you want to get contracts with, and we'll get out there and seek those contracts for you. But most states are print-to-card states. The ones that California is pretty much the only one that really require certification. There are a few electronic submission states other than California, which is like, I want to say Arizona is a hybrid state. You have Illinois. You have a few other states as well. And then like Ohio is totally different. Like when it comes to live scan, you can do manual in Ohio, but they don't have like Gemalto, they have web check. They're the only state with web check. So, you know, that's something different. So if you're in Ohio, you have to do web check. If you're in like Georgia, which will be they will be field print. Texas is identical. That's who majority runs or monopolizes the industry. But just because they have those companies in that state, I'm my own Gemalto. I'm my own Identigo. You know what I'm saying? Because I am those people. I provide channeling. And when you sign up with my services, I can assist you with getting or becoming a channeler. They don't allow you to become that because they are the channelers. Yeah. You know, so they're not gonna, they tell you to roll these prints and bring them back to them. They don't even give you the capability of being able to do that. And then they're only gonna give you maybe half of what you made per card. If I charge $65, $45 per card, I'm getting all of that. That's my rolling fee on top of the ORI number, the fee that they have with that. And then there may be like an additional fee. but I'm gonna get my money. I'm not gonna get no $13 or $5 or whatever that is, because I have some free equipment that they provided to me. I prefer to pay for my own equipment and get all my money in-house.
Yeah.
Bring me my money. So
I like that. So, that's interesting. So, as far as on the equipment side, let's say, for example, if someone Word, like to say they want to get set up and get their equipment, is it set up to where, let's say if they have a fingerprinting job available and whatever their fee is for to roll the fingerprints, but then sometimes most folks are not paying the full fee for the equipment anyway. So the person that has the equipment, are they taking their fee off the top of that as well? Or is it just, okay, I just roll the fingerprints and then whatever I'm paying for the machine, they're gonna take whatever I owe from them out of that fee?
for my company or for the other companies?
Well, it could be for your company or for other companies as well.
We don't charge a processing fee. If you pay for your equipment, you pay for your equipment.
Okay.
You can pay, like I said, you can finance it. Once you got your equipment, you're not paying any additional fees. The only thing extra that you will be paying for is your support service, and that's what, $2.99 per month. But with everything that you get, you're getting customer service, you're getting an 800 number, you're getting a website, you're getting scheduling, you're getting accounting services. If you took all of those things and paid somebody separately to do them, that's gonna be over $1,000. That's gonna be over $1,000. But to have to only do that, to pay $199, and then you're gonna get support services, weekly Zooms, schedule one-on-one meetings and things like that along with it. Why not have that?
Yeah, it seems like it's a no-brainer, because like I said, it's always going to be updates to the machines. You want to get updated on industry trends, everything that's going on as well. So it would make sense to take advantage of those meetings and one-on-one calls as well.
Yeah, and then if someone is actually having trouble or having issues, they have a number to call and reach someone. If your client is trying to reach out or find that location, or if it's something going on, like if it is a rejection, they need to reach back out. They have someone to reach out and speak to handle the situation. So you don't ever have to really pick up the phone. You just show up and roll the prints.
Okay, I like that. So would you say, in your opinion, is it more advantageous for a fingerprinting tech to be mobile, or would it be better is it more advantageous for the client to come to them instead?
BOAF, both.
Both.
Both. So I want you, I even with them, when people ask me, should I do just live scan or should I do manual? Both. Because if you're providing mobile and standstill services, you are giving people that option. I have a young lady that reached out to me. She's needing fingerprinting for her grandmother for an estate planning. She needs fingerprinting. Her grandma can't leave the home. She's, not well. So she's not going to be dragging her into a fingerprint location. I'm going to her. Yeah. And on top of that, I'm trying to get that estate planning package, together for them, so I'm trying to be that one-stop shop for this family, provide fingerprinting and providing the notary service, so even when it comes to my manual, the young lady that I was telling you about in Tampa, she told me I trained her on manual, and then she ended up purchasing her live scan. But one day she called me, she said, I am so mad at myself. I said, well, what happened? She said, I needed to do a manual and I didn't have my board. I said, honey, you take that board with you just like you take your live scan equipment, because you never know who you're going to run into. Like a lot of the times, certain states with real estate, they want manual. Yeah. So you whether you're doing mobile or brick and mortar, you always want to give people options.
That's a bar. That's a sales lesson too. You want to give folks as many options as possible.
Options.
Yeah.
Don't let them leave your site. I'm one of those. When they say, "Hey, I want to do that," I do that. Yeah. People come here. And they like, what else do you do? I'm like, I do fingerprinting, I do immigration specialist, I do this. They was like, they be looking at me like, what are you?
Do a little bit of everything.
I'm just from the shy, baby. I'm just got that hustle in me.
And I think, and like I said, and that goes back to, like I said, that's the beauty of being in this business. Like I said, there's so many complementary skills that you can offer, so many complementary services that you can offer. It's like, no, I'm not a one-trick pony. Like, yeah, I'm a master of fingerprinting, but these are other skills that complement each other that I could provide for you as well while you're still here. So, yeah, that's.
And on top of that, when I forgot to mention that on top of me waiting on loan signing and doing the fingerprint, I was doing Uber and Lyft. Yeah. So I was advertising that way. I was passing my cards out. Yeah. So I was advertising my notary business and my fingerprint business and doing Uber and Lyft.
Boots on the ground. That's how you do it. That's how you do it right there.
I was getting title companies. People will say, I would get the signings, and I would say, hey, because it was a lot of title companies and escrow offices, I would say, you want me to return these docs? I was doing document courier. I wasn't playing. I wish I could do a lot of that here in Georgia, because Georgia is an attorney state, so I have to rely on other things. But when I was in Missouri and Kansas, I was dual commission, so I was working both states, providing everything.
That's awesome. That's why, man. That's why I like the fingerprinting business. It's so simple. Like it's what you see is what you get. Like, hey, just give me I just need a fingerprint card, or I just need an equipment machine. All I gotta do is roll your fingerprints and it's all set. You all set.
It is simple, but you got those people that's difficult. You got people you got to deal with that always want to control the roll.
Yeah, got sweaty hands.
I haven't had sweaty handers yet, but I always get, for some reason, it's one finger on males that is hard for them to roll. Yeah. I can't remember which finger it is until I start rolling them, but every male has this issue with one of the fingers. I don't know if it's a trigger finger.
It got to be this one. It has to be this one.
I think it is. They cannot roll that correctly. I always have to re-roll it. I always have the issue, whether it's live scan or manual. And the people with long fingernails, those are my issues.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, it's pretty much I'm gonna get paid as soon as I provide the service.
Yeah.
I'm done.
So for like, and I think I'm kind of backtracking a bit. Let's say, just like the notary industry, folks want to practice. How do I get prepared for a certain document? Is there a way for folks that once they do get their certification, is it a way for them to practice? So that way they just not, because obviously a customer don't want you to be the person that they practicing on, right? They expecting for you to already know what the hell you're doing by the time you get to them. Like, can a tech actually spend the time alone, whether it's with a family member or friend, practicing rolling their fingerprints?
Yes, they can. They can print out a 258 fingerprint card, and they can practice that way. Also, just practice on a piece of paper as long as they have an ink pad. This one is in blue, but I have this for my other project. The reason why we have blue ink, y'all might want to find that out. But I have my pads here, and then I have my board. So just start rolling. And the process is from side bed. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get back in. Okay, let me get back in. From side bed to side bed. That's how you roll. It's, you're not fingerprinting if you're just doing this. That's a latent print.
Yeah.
Flat print. You don't do that until you get to the bottom of the card. A roll. You have to make sure it's roll, and it has to look like I showed you guys. It's going to be a wide, almost like a square shape. This is not a pretty good card to use.
Yeah.
But you see how it's not just a dap.
Yeah.
If somebody training you and you paying for them to show you how to dap on a fingerprint card, this is a 258 fingerprint card. You also must fill this out properly as well. That can cause rejection. So if you're not properly filling out this fingerprint card, you can get your cards rejected as well. So like if it says place of birth, put the place of birth. They don't mean where your driver's license say, because if you're not, like, I'm in Georgia. My place of birth is Illinois, so I have to put Illinois on there. If you have any aliases or anything, you have to make sure you fill that out correctly. Always ask them for the identification, and pretty much what you're filling out on there is going to be what's on the ID card.
Got it. All right. Yeah, this was a really dope conversation about fingerprinting. Because again, I haven't had an opportunity to talk about this, had an episode to talk about this yet, and I'm pretty sure I got a lot of folks that would been waiting to hear about this episode. And then before we wrap up, you know, we definitely got to plug in
The Fingerprint Connect.
Yeah, we definitely got to plug in the Fingerprint Connect. I don't know if you approached me about it first or I reached out to you about it, but either or, it doesn't matter. When we were discussing about it, I thought, you know, it made perfect sense, you know, because you know, the notary industry is so used to that signing service model where you're just hiring notary signing agents for loan closings. But I haven't came across anyone outside of Andre and a few other notaries that has a notary agency where they're specifically focusing on general notary work, right? Like I haven't seen that business model outside of that. So to be able to have the opportunity to, you know, partner with you, someone who's well experienced, knows what the hell they're doing within the fingerprinting space, to be able to apply that business model into the space of fingerprinting, you know, to be able to serve clients like on a nationwide scale. I thought it was too big of an opportunity to pass up. And like I said, it's not too many, especially Black business owners that's doing this as well. And so I would love for you to just put your 2 cents in on, you know, what you thought, what your thoughts of the partnership, why it made sense, and, you know, and then they go from there.
Well, the funny part about it is I was wanting to do it for as long as I started. And I did not have the know-how. Yeah. Because I was like, I don't even know how they start these signing services. I was like, and I kept reaching out to people like, I want to do the notary part. And I think I reached out to another gentleman that does like that does what you do, have the services for the notaries. Yeah. And I don't think he quite understood what I was trying to say. Yeah. And I was like, I want to do this, but on a fingerprint side. Yeah. And when I saw you say, I said, you the right person. I said, I like you. Yeah. You know, I feel like we speak the same language a lot of the times. And I'm like, he would be wonderful. You were like the best fit. But it's so funny because it is like divine timing, because this is something that I was wanting to do for the whole time. Once I started fingerprinting, I wanted to have like my own fingerprint signing service. Yeah. You know, where people would sign up and I could send people, you know, out. And I was like, why, you know, when I saw you doing, I was just like, I definitely, you know, need to reach out to you because this would be perfect. Yeah. You're good with the notaries and finding, and I'm good with the fingerprinters. I have a group of 2,000 and something people. So I have the contacts. Yeah. Yeah, I just think, you know, sometimes folks is not gonna always see the vision. Like they're not gonna see it. Like you can see it perfectly clear in your mind, how it's gonna be laid out, how you're gonna execute this. But on the other side to them, it's like that person who you talking to, it's like you talking in Chinese arithmetic to them. Mm-hmm. It's like wah, 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 wah. Yeah, like what are you talking about? And so, like I said, when it was brought up to me, I was like, yo, that makes perfect sense, because ever since starting this, like the notary agency, it's been like a life-changing experience for me. Like I would never, I mean, like I said, I had a plan to start this, you know, but like I said, when it happened by mistake, and then when I actually saw I could actually do this, and I didn't need to start off on signing order. I didn't need to start off on SnapDocs or anything in that nature to get started. I was like, all right, now that I've seen that this works, what else can I apply? How can this business model be applied into other areas of the notary business? And like I said, and at the time when you brought it up, I was like, yeah, I definitely want to get into. I already have my certificate to roll fingerprints. I just haven't done it yet. And then I actually had hired out. I had hired out, hired a fingerprint tech to handle a specific fingerprinting job, and the client needed documents notarized as well. So I knew it was possible.
you know, if I just didn't know, all right, where else do I go from here? You know, and so like I said, when the opportunity presented itself, I was like, yeah, this is too good of an opportunity to pass up. And so, like I said, we had the plan, we have the platform, you know, we have the relationships, we have the skill to actually do this. You know, why not put it together and see what happens? You know, I'm not afraid to fail. At the end of the day, I don't care about looking stupid or none of that, because most folks, while they still thinking about it, I'm gonna be willing to embrace the criticism. I'm gonna be willing to embrace all of that, because I know over time it may not be great at the moment, but I know over time
It gets better and better.
it's going to continue to get better. You're going to get refined in your process. Your systems are going to be better. So by the time you go through that entire process, you're going to be full steam ahead. You know,
you're right, because 2 years ago, I definitely didn't see myself where I am today.
Yeah,
I didn't even think I was gonna be able to afford this dang on live scam box.
but now look at
And I was like, man, I just knew I wanted it so bad, and
yeah.
it was my business partner blessed me. You know, it's the connections and things like that, who you connected with. You never know, you know, who's gonna bless you and where those blessings are gonna come from.
Yeah. So the lesson in that is, you know, like I said, everybody's not going to see the vision right away, but like I say, all it takes is one person to see it. It's just like perfect example of that is like I don't know if you're familiar with Earn Your Leisure, but
Oh yeah,
you know, with Ian on Market Mondays. Ian, I've heard Ian talk about this before, where he said that what they have on Market Mondays, he said that's something that he always wanted to do. He presented that vision to other people that was in the stock market space, and they were like, I don't really know. But all he did was needed to find a guy like Rashad and find Troy, and they was already in the investing in business space. They was already talking about stocks anyway. And so when, like I said, when the pandemic happened and COVID happened and everything happened with the stock market, he blended those two together. And now look at them. They're over 100 episodes in and more, doing Invest Fest and all these things. And so, you know, like I said, it's all about just finding that person and not taking it personal as well, where you come across people who may not see that vision, you know. So, you know, once you find someone that's in alignment, you know, once you're in alignment with each other, it's like, all right, now that we got the vision, we got the know-how, let's put a plan together and let's put it out there. You know, so yeah,
definitely. And that's how I feel like I'm right now where I'm at. It's a good place. You know, like I said, things can be slow, but I know it's slow because it's meant for me to start this other project, and
absolutely.
I have to take advantage of that. So, and like I said, all I wanted to do, even with the fingerprinting, was to help one person, and I've helped hundreds. So even with the new project that I'm working on, I only want to help one person. I'm gonna just stick with that one person. And if I help millions or help thousands, then I've succeeded.
Absolutely. So for y'all, if y'all watching on YouTube, or if you listen to Anchor, Apple or Spotify, checking the show notes. I will have the sign up form for anyone that's a fingerprinting tech. They're looking to get some business coming in. Make sure you sign up. We would love to have you be a part of the network. Because just before we got on this call, we just got a request for someone that needs fingerprinting service. Like literally right before we hopped on the call on this start the show, we have someone that needs a fingerprinting service down in Tampa. So this thing is real. Like I said, every now and then they come in, but like I said, as long as we continue to be consistent, continue to put the word out there, and continue to build these relationships, it's going to be a steady stream of business that's coming in. But we need y'all to be ready when opportunities present itself.
Yeah.
You know, so just wrapping up, one thing I always like to ask before we jump off: where do you see your business within the next 5 to 10 years?
In the next 5 to 10 years, definitely having more than one location. Definitely not necessarily having to do fingerprints anymore, but having other people, you know, rolling and doing the prints, and actually, you know, just making this bigger to where, like you say, I don't have to use the stamp.
Yeah.
I don't have to use the ink.
Yeah.
Or the live scan machine. I'm thinking about renting this machine out. I might have to start a service. Hey, who in Georgia want to rent my machine?
Being creative.
On the days that I'm slow and the days that I ain't got no service, I might get some phone calls. Yeah, I never know. Yeah, I want to rent my live scan. I might, you know what? I'm thinking I might have to present that to my business partner.
May need to, like you
And,
said, I mean, that's creative
because
thinking right there.
yeah, rent a box.
That's a great idea. And then also plug everything in. Where can people find you? Where can people, if people want to learn more about fingerprinting, where can they get the training? Let everybody know where they can tap in with you at.
Well, you can sign up for my training on fingerprintersrusmobile.com. And also you can reach me. I am on Instagram under fingerprinters_RS. RS. And let me see, I'm on TikTok, Notary Fingerprinters. And where else? I think that's pretty much it for, I have a notary, but it's not really a fingerprint in IG, but I do post from both of them, and I can't really remember my notary one because I don't be on it as much. But I think it's Southside_Georgia Mobile Notary.
Got it. Before we jump out of here, I gotta plug my stuff in too, y'all. Gotta plug my stuff in because I wouldn't be the stamp if I didn't plug nothing in, right? Make sure you guys join the Stamper community. If you're a notary, that's whether you're a newer notary or a seasoned notary that's trying to get business coming in, please join the Stamper community. We are on Facebook. We typically post upcoming and available signings within the group. If no one responds to the signing within the group, I'll shoot you out a text as well. So please make sure you join us, the Stamper community. If you want to learn how to book estate plan signings, if you want to learn how to launch your own notary agency, if you want to learn how to launch your own digital products, if you want to learn more about content creation, if you want to learn how to book more loan closings, building referral partnerships, I encourage you to join the Stampin Academy. All right. We got over now is 12 plus hours of recorded sessions. We do weekly live classes. It's other notaries inside the program as well that's passing out signings as well. We are creating an economy within the Stampin Academy. So I encourage you to enroll today and let's get started. Don't get your commission and sit on the sidelines and praying and hoping that some business come in. And you know, that's not how we run business. No, you want to get around people that's done it, that's actively doing it, that's been what you're trying to get to. So that way we can help you put money in your pocket and also give you the return on your investment, right? Because this is an investment to pay for your commission, to get pay for your bond, to get your stamp, and invest in your time as well to get to, you know, to even get to this point. So enroll in the Stampin Academy today. Check us out. And then again, if you're offering fingerprinting services, make sure you join the Fingerprint Connect. We are looking for fingerprinting techs as well, because we, like I said, we typically we get requests coming in for folks that need fingerprinting, and we want to make sure we're providing as many opportunities as possible, because that is what it's about. Being in a position where we can create opportunities for other notaries, fingerprinting techs, and be able to put food on the table for their families and do more of the things that they love to do. All right. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you listen to this on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, make sure you give us a 5-star rating. Let us know how we doing. And then also, who else do you want to see on the show? I'm always looking to get notary entrepreneurs to share their story, how they got to this point in their business as well. So let me know how we doing, y'all. Once again, thank you, Shonica. I appreciate you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come join the Stamper podcast. Bless us with your wisdom, your knowledge, and just your story in general. You're a really dope individual. I'm looking forward to building this fingerprinting, building more of the Fingerprint Connect with you, so we can get more fingerprinting business out there. And until next time, y'all, peace.
Peace.